Are you guys excited to visit Altissia or what?
I guess.
I'm so jealous.
We're not going on vacation.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Iris?
Something wrong?
What? No, I'm fine. I'm not jealous. I just had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. But that'll all be in the past once we hit Kayam.
What are you talking about?
We can hang out anytime, right?
Yeah.
Hello again. Today I'm going to show you how to take Iris to Altissia in Chapter 6 by exploiting various glitches. Make sure you have everything listed here before continuing. At the start of Chapter 6, before we add Iris to the party, we need to unlock the Regalia Type D. Complete Cindy's side quest until she asks you to retrieve a Supercharger from the Vespers Bowl, which cannot be accessed because of the blockades. In order to reach this area, we need to use the Underworld glitch. Head to this area at night near this rock and make sure you have a great sword and a shield equipped, as well as 3 buff items at a minimum. An example would be muscle stimulants, superior restoratives, and the flesh fortifier. Next, mark this position on the map as a waypoint for your route to the Vespers Bowl. When a red giant spawns, position Noctis and the giant so that they're both standing on the grass and are just barely touching the guardrail. And while holding a greatsword, use Ignis Overwhelm ability. The positioning should cause you to fall through the ground like this.
Never fear, Chocobo's here!
Glasses. Capital idea.
Ignis! Now's our chance! Nothing personal.
Once you fall through, switch to your shield weapon and perform an air attack. The shield weapon slows your fall and is necessary to get back up to ground level, as it's the only weapon type that can air attack infinitely. Head to the waypoint you marked. Once you reach the destination, perform an air attack, and while attacking, give a party member a buff item, and pause the game the second you see the screen change. What's happening is the game is trying to rebuffer the environment around Noctis and the party, but they're too far apart, which causes Noctis' elevation to reset. When this happens, during a shield attack, Noctis can delay his falling long enough for the ground below him to fully render. Once you get to ground level, mark this area as your next destination. When you reach this area, turn right until you hear Noctis say,
Alright, let's hit it.
Then bring up the menu and select Return to Entrance. This will spawn you outside the dungeon within the Vespers Bowl.
But fauna as well.
Huh. This sure looks like it leads somewhere.
It's practically inviting us inside.
You think there's something in there?
I say it's all but guaranteed.
Get the Supercharger part and return to Cindy using the tool car option on the menu.
Oh yeah, this has gotta be it. Well, let's head back and have Cindy get to work. Isn't Cindy the best? I mean, she searches high and low for all these rare parts for us to use.
Very gracious of her.
Man, she must really like us.
Less us and more the Regalia.
Continue doing Cindy's side quests until you complete Kings of the Off-Road. This will unlock 3 race courses, one of which is in the Vesper Spool, and that's very important.
Leave it to me.
Holler when you're ready to unleash the beast.
We can now take Iris to Lestalem and defeat Irenaeus at the Stronghold. When you return, go back to the Vesper Spool again using the Underworld glitch and start the car course there in order to move the car into the Vesper Spool. Do not, under any circumstance, rest in the Vesper Spool while the car is there. It'll leave you stranded with no way out. Once the car's been moved, return to the rest point in Lestalem and rent the Chocobo for 7 days. Also, make sure you have Curio Greens, as speed is needed to exploit the next glitch. Make camp at this location and make sure to feed your Chocobo Curio Greens, then save your game. This next glitch involves taking advantage of map world buffering and is very hard to do. If you fast travel from the Vesper Spool to this camp, it causes the world to not fully render. More importantly, the rivers and rocks around it. The time it takes for the rocks and rivers to spawn might vary, but lasts about 15 seconds. Mark this specific point, as this will allow you to go out of bounds. Fast travel to the car location in the Vesper Spool, then back to the rest point in the Moblin thicket. Then quickly call your Chocobo and run over to the marked waypoint before the river and rocks spawn.
Let's go.
You should be positioned inside the rock here just for this to work. Once the rocks and river finish spawning, carefully move your Chocobo to the point where it would push itself back, and just before it does, short jump forward. The rocks behind you will push you out of bounds while on the Chocobo. The positioning is very strict. Once you get out of bounds, make your way around the Malmalin thicket en route to Altissia and get right to the ocean. Head in the direction of Angel Guard until you see islands to the right buffer in. Then head straight between the gap right here. Altissia is to the left of that gap. Check your map periodically as you pass the first rock until you see an opening to Altissia, and follow that path. Once you land in Altissia, immediately rest at the hotel, and if you still have days left on your Chocobo rental, save immediately. If you don't, then rest at the hotel and return to the Vesper Spool and rent the Chocobo for another 7 days, then return to Altissia.